Welcome back, everybody. We are keeping it moving here, and now we are going on to a segment that we call Motivational Mondays. So joining us for Motivational Mondays is Daniel Francis, no stranger to this set at all, and you are here to speak about your new book. So the last time we spoke, which was roughly like a year ago, you had just launched
the Millennial Mind.
Millennial Mind, right? And now, up almost exactly a year later, we are coming here to speak about your second book. So first off, congratulations on your second book. And what's the name of this one?
Thank you so much. This one is called The Millennial Experience, 30 Stories of Hope, Growth, and Success. So clearly it's going off of the first book, The Millennial Mind.
Yeah, you know, so taking from, I guess from your own personal experiences and translating it into a way that millennials could not only accept it, but also learn something.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, it's not just my experiences, experiences of friends, acquaintances. I'm very active on social media, so I'm always paying attention to the pain points of millennials.
Right.
And all of that kind of came together to create the non-fiction, fiction, non-fiction, fiction mix that is this new book.
Fiction?
Yeah. So, I mean, all of these stories are based on actual experiences. Either I've gone through others, but I got a little creative with it, put in different aspects of things. So none of them are, well, some of them are fully real, like they actually happened, but the majority of them are just a mix of things that have happened. So
yeah, so
more,
it just
fiction.
So it composed together rather than something that is not fully anecdotal.
Yeah, yeah, and it was very different for me because I went from fully non-fiction, self-help book to writing a whole fictional book, and it's actually really fun. It's really, really fun to just kind of play with the words, play with the characters, like really get into their head on what they would do and why they would do it.
Oh, so so there are characters in the book, and I guess all the characters millennials, or are there people of different age groups and generations in there?
The majority are millennials, but of course I had to put the generations above the generations below to see how they react with us and what that kind of interaction will bring forward. Because my main goal, and I always set a goal when it says I write a book, is I wanted this one to be very relatable. I wanted persons to read it and think, oh, I've gone through this, I'm going through this right now, and to get a sense of some kind of insight into, oh, okay, so I could actually do this and I'll experience this type of change. Because I think especially for millennials, we're kind of just trying to survive. Most of the time. We don't think about the little things that we could change and we could do. So I really wanted to write these stories to jolt people into, oh, okay, I was kind of just going through a little default. Let me pay attention now. Because I think that's important, especially now with COVID-19.
Well, that's what I was just about to ask. Was there reference to the pandemic and the things that we're experiencing now in the book?
Of course. You can't miss it, I mean, this is something that's going to probably affect us for years on end, especially for millennials. This is hard for us. Some of us now entering the world of work, some of us just started and trying to work our way up, and then for this to happen, it is really a setback. But I really wanted to show some motivation, some inspiration, some hope that we are a resilient generation, we are innovative. If it is we focus on the negative, well, we will stay there. But if we can focus more on the positive, that we can actually make a change.
But how do you motivate someone who, they lost their job in the pandemic, they do not have access to, let's say, funds to start a business or some type of entrepreneurial endeavor? How do you use the stories and how do you use the lessons that you have in the book to motivate that one person?
Because the stories are about people just like that person, just like me, just like any millennial. And it's going to show you that even if you start, let's say, at the bottom, or you've been set back, that there is a way up. And the thread between these characters is that they decided that they wanted to make the change. They stopped focusing on the things that they could not control, maybe the pandemic, they're losing their jobs, all these different things, and started putting the energy into things that actually matter. Your thoughts, your actions, the things that you do, as opposed to, it is, if you focus so much on that negative, you tend to just stay there.
True.
And it's easy to do. It's, I mean, not
as you said, the default.
The default mode, exactly. Right? So, I mean, there's so much that we can be doing, but when it is that it's just so much negativity around you, it's very easy to just get stuck. And it happens to me all the time. I am launching this book, again, still pandemic. Happened to me last year. I thought it would be a little bit easier for me as I had the experience, but it's still tough. And I sometimes get down and I sometimes second guess myself. And it's really weird that I'm editing a book that's teaching me, oh, you know, I could really just do this, focus on this, because it's very easy to get lost.
Right.
And I really just wanted to just shed some light and say, you know, yeah, it might be down and out right now, but there's so much more coming for you. You just need to stay focused.
Stay focused, and I guess not go to your default and
Exactly.
keep doing the same things and going in that same circle.
Yeah.
I guess there are 30 stories in your book, and what's the significance of there being 30?
So when I came up with the Millennial Mind, I had this big idea. I'm going to launch this book on my birthday.
Right.
And in the heat of the moment, I said, I'm going to write one more book a year from now, not realizing how much work it would actually be.
Right.
But when it kind of came together perfectly, I hadn't even planned it, but when I finished the book, there were 30 stories, and I'm just like, wow, you know, this book is launching on April 15th, which is also my birthday, which is also when I turn 30.
Oh, your birthday coming up soon, really happy birthday.
Yeah, almost birthday. So I just, you know, the significance of 30 stories, my 30th birthday, I thought it was a really excellent kind of, maybe a divine intervention type of thing.
It was serendipitous, so to say.
Yeah, I like to look for those type of little kind of inklings of hope. It's showing me that I'm on the right direction, even if things may be hard around me.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, what is the running theme for the book, and what are your hopes for the book?
The running themes, I'm focusing on, there's so much that we are experiencing right now, but especially with millennials, I wanted to focus on financial stability, especially in this time, mental health. That is something that we are progressive on, but we're not doing enough about, so a lot of stories focus on that. Just the simple stuff that deals with personal development, like being able to manage your time, having goals in mind, if you're feeling stuck, why you're feeling stuck, not having that purpose. And it's really all, when you read it, you're just going to feel really sucked into the fact that, oh, this is all I need to do to change.
Right.
And I wanted to make it very simple. I wanted to make it relatable, easy to read, so that if you decide that you want to use this to make that change, you can go ahead and do so.
All right, and before we go, last question. We're running out of time. How do we get access to this book? Where do we find it?
So you can find it on any of my social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Daniel Francis, or Rebit Limited. You can reach out even on my website. That's rebityouth.com. And of course, if you want to have a conversation with me, learn about it, you can reach out to me on 783-6625.
Right, fantastic. I want to thank you so much and congratulate you one more time on your new book. Two-time author, you know, at your young age, almost 30. Congratulations. And yeah, we look forward to all the good things that are to come from you. And I expect some more books coming down the line, of course.
Keep coming.
All right, that's Daniel Francis, who is a personal development coach as well as a two-time author. And you could check out his website, social media pages, or call the number that he gave out a little while ago to get your hands on his new book. And you could reach out to Daniel Francis via those forums.